Alright, we're finally doing the highly anticipated walk around video of our 2002 Toyota 4Runner. We've gotten a lot of comments about it, we've gotten a lot of questions about it, and a lot of people have been asking us for a walk around video. So we figured we'd do it. Unfortunately, Michelle couldn't be here. She's sick. I figured I'd come out here and still show you guys and get this video up and going so y'all can see what we've done. So in this video, we're going to include the good, the bad, the ugly of how it was being out on the road for a couple months. We do plan on throughout the years leaving for a couple months and living off of this thing. We spent around 4 months out on the road, drove 13, almost 14,000 miles, and hit around 18 states. And to us, that's a huge accomplishment. I know that people do a lot more, but we did it all on this thing. So we definitely want to show you guys what this thing is capable of doing, what any car is capable of doing, as long as you maintain it, take care of it. And yeah, and obviously we've done a little bit more, and we want to guide you guys and show you guys what we have done. So we're going to start from the front and make our way towards the back. All right, so we have shown this in the past, but this is our front bumper. This is a True North slash, in other words, SRQ Fabrications front bumper. It's an open hybrid wing bumper, and originally we got it raw, so not painted, and then I painted it myself, primed it and painted it, and it looks great, and it's held up very good. There are a couple blemishes of rust, but a little paint touch up won't hurt. Other things that we have is Baja Squadron Pros on both sides. These I use for my fogs. They have flood and spot lenses on them that are amber. And then moving on to here, we have a Harbor Freight winch, a 9,500 pound winch with just your simple thing. I haven't changed the rope to synthetic. I've just kept a regular cable because I just don't use it enough to need it. So we've used it before and the cable worked fine. So we have that, and then moving on to here, and then over here we have our GMRS antenna, which we use for our Midland radios. And this antenna can go up to like 40 miles. Obviously with trees around, it's kind of hard to do so, but if you're in flat land like the desert, like Utah, it can go up to 40 miles. So this thing is really good. It's come in handy when we don't have signal, and we, for example, everyone stays at the trail, and then one of us goes off to see if there's a camp spot available. This thing comes in handy because we can let everybody know that there's a camp spot available, and they can come in without having to everybody to come in to the spot to see, and then there's not a camp spot. So this thing has come in handy, and that's pretty much it for the front. Nothing else really done to it besides the snorkel. It's just a basic snorkel that you can get off of eBay. This thing low-key was a pain to put on because the templates that they give you aren't very accurate, so you have to just kind of go off of your own circles and stuff like that. So that isn't the best, but we did it, and it took a whole day. Another thing that we have up here in the front is our ditch lights. I have these ditch lights all around the truck, not just up here. We have them on both sides and the rear, and they're very good for just whenever we're trying to find a camp spot at night. The side ones come very much in handy because I can just turn them on and we don't have to grab a flashlight and go out there. So that comes in handy, and that's about it for the front over here. Now we're gonna move on to the engine bay, which we haven't done the previous walk around. So for this one, I'm just gonna vlog so you guys can get a better view. So we're gonna start right here. This is a 3.4 liter V6. This is one of the best engines, in my opinion, that Toyota has released. It just has done wonders. It's at 323,000 miles, and it's still going strong. I have replaced a couple things. Now, when we first got the truck, it was overheating while I was idling, so we decided to replace the entire cooling system. So we replaced the radiator, the heater control valve, which is right there, and then the fan clutch and the thermostat. Ever since I changed that, it has been great. The temperature doesn't go above like 195, which is perfect. That's what you're supposed to be at. So it has just worked, and we haven't had any more problems overheating. So you got to keep the motor healthy for it to keep running. Another thing that I have to add is that we did do a transmission cooler on it because the original transmission cooler just wasn't doing enough for what we were doing. Other things that we have done is just basic oil changes, air filter, just basic tune-up things. Other things that we did replace were the battery, of course, alternator, and starter. We did get stranded in Utah, and I did have to hitchhike. We do have a video on that. So that was fun, but it gave me an opportunity to replace that stuff, so we have no more starting issues. And that's pretty much it for the things that we have done to the engine. When we got the truck from the original owner, actually, he already had done the timing belt, water pump, and all that stuff, so we haven't had to worry about that. I'm dreading doing it. Eventually, I'm most likely going to have to, because we are reaching that mileage, because we got this truck at like 260,000 miles, and we are almost already at 100,000 miles within like 2 years of owning it. So we have put this truck to work, literally. So that's that. And then of course we have my rat's nest of things. So this is a switch panel that goes to my aux beam switch inside that I will show you in a second, and this controls all my lights. I have almost all of them completely full of wires because I literally have an excessive amount of lights. I only have 2 slots left, and then all the wiring goes up to there. I've wanted to organize this, but this is the best it's going to get right now, and it works. It doesn't jump around or anything. So that is pretty much it for the engine bay. Moving on to the suspension, the wheels and tires, we have 285 75 16s BF Goodrich KO2s, and these tires are actually tires that I had on the last walk around, so I've had them for a long time and I've put a lot of miles on them. It's getting to the point where I do need new ones. These ones are already kind of doling out. So, and then obviously the stock Toyota wheels, they're just OEM wheels, nothing really special about them. They are 16s, and that's pretty much it. And I'm also running a 1-inch spacer all around to push them out more, or else they would be too far in, and I would also risk hitting the upper control arm with the wider tire. So that's that. And then obviously we're running a lift, 3-inch lift all around, maybe a little bit higher in the back because I do have OME 861s in the back, which are supposed to be heavier springs that can carry more load. They are Bilstein 5100 shocks, and then long travel shocks in the rear by Bilstein. And then of course heavy springs in the front as well, just to compensate for the weight of the bumper, the winch, everything. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And then we also have a Tundra brake upgrade. If you didn't know, 3rd gen 4Runners, you can do a conversion to a Tundra caliper. And so that's what we have done, and it has worked miracles with braking. You can definitely tell a difference from stock. It's just a bigger caliper, and it doesn't warp the brakes very often. That's something that the OEM brakes on the 4Runners, on at least the 3rd gens, have a problem with. The Tundra brake caliper actually kind of helps with that. I haven't really noticed much warping. Very, very good investment. Now moving on to the side here, we have a 270-degree awning from Ironman 4x4. We actually just got this awning like a couple months ago, or actually about a month ago, right before the Georgia trip that we just posted, and it is actually so nice. We used this during the Georgia trip, and unfortunately it only came with 2 walls, but at least we got walls with it. I did buy it used off of Facebook, so shout out to the dude that I bought it from. He really helped out because it kept us warm during Georgia. Of course, it didn't have all the 4 walls, which if we did, it would be even better. But with the 2 walls back there that we had, it really helped keep that heat in. This thing is really, really nice. So one thing that we love about this awning is the fact that majority of the time you do not need to put the legs down. and they're just strapped in here. So whenever you do need to put the legs down, they're right here for you to go right away. So it's great, and it comes with 3 lights right there that you can actually change the colors from warm to cool. So it's just great. Like, this thing has made and will make a huge difference on the way that we camp and the way that we, just the quality of life. We are very happy that we got it, and of course the 2 walls, and eventually hopefully we can get all 4 walls so we can enclose ourselves in here, and it'll just be 10 times better. So just like that. This thing is extremely easy to close. In the cold, not so much, but in regular weather, it's very easy to close. So we haven't actually done a full formal storage walk around. We have done one in Flagstaff, but it wasn't a detailed one. I kind of want to explain why we chose to do what we did and how has it held up, what purposes does it have, and so on and so forth. We got the storage system built by a family member, Josh. Shout out Josh. He focused on quality, and this thing has held up through so much. Like, it's insane. It held up through constant just abuse for 4 months straight of us throwing stuff on top of it, banging it up, everything. It has held up. The slides still work. Everything still works. I did actually repaint the surface just because it was showing its wear. I mean, I didn't repaint the sides, so you can kind of tell the difference from, you know, a painted surface through the old surface. But it has held up, and it's great. So the purposes for these drawers, if you have watched our videos in the past, you'll know that this one is our cooking drawer. So we have everything from our stove to our pots to our propane to our little water dispenser and trash bags, wrap, aluminum foil, stuff to clean dishes, and of course fire starter in here. So that's what this purpose of this drawer is. It's mainly just cooking. I mean, that's what the purpose of both these drawers are actually. And then moving on to this one right here. This one has just mainly our pots and oil, any perishable food that we have, we keep in here. Any seasoning we keep up here in the front. And then this is new. This is something that we just got. It's Violtix cooking stuff. So it's pots, pans, all this stuff. This is basically like a jet boil, but it is electric. So this is something that we're excited to use. And then we have our pans back here, and that's pretty much it with these drawers. So something that we opted for was something that was easy to access and everything. So we decided to go with locking drawer slides, and it actually stops midway. So if we want to just stop it midway, maybe we could put something on top of here, cutting board or whatever, just so we can have that little space and it doesn't have to come out all the way, because this does come out a pretty fair amount. And then of course, this as well, anytime that we do go cook or use a stove, we push it out, and then Josh made this little platform right here that can just go perfectly right here. Actually, fun fact, he even put holes to match the stove, and so the stove stays on here without moving at all. Just connects right up, hole right there, and it won't move. The detail that he put into this is just crazy and something that we weren't expecting, and it's just, like I said, it got us through 4 months of just constant abuse. So it works. And then another thing that we did want to add is some sort of way to pull the fridge out. Originally, we were going to get a fridge slide, but we decided not to. So we decided to make our own fridge slide the best that we could. And so we pull here, and this comes out as well. And then, of course, the fridge stays still. And now we have a little bit more room to open and grab whatever we need. So we did have a smaller fridge than this before. Obviously this one's bigger, so we do need some kind of slide that pushes it out, or else we're not going to be able to reach in there, because obviously the roof is very low. So now it's very good that we have a fridge slide that comes out, and it's not fully level with the whole storage, so it'll be good enough that even Michelle can reach in here because she is a little bit shorter than me. So yeah, it's nice, and of course it just goes right back in and locks up. So towards the equipment side of things, this isn't my battery. This is my father-in-law's battery, but this is an EcoFlow. Normally I have my 2 batteries that sit right here, but unfortunately they're broken and getting fixed right now, so this is the battery that I'm using for the moment. And then we just got new chairs because our old chairs unfortunately bent the legs and stopped carrying us, so we had to get new Amazon chairs. And then of course I still have my little kitchen bag that has all my utensils, anything, knives, cutleries, anything that I need to cook with. And then of course my little air compressor back there that I literally cannot live without. So this is our Iceco fridge. It's an APL 55-liter fridge, and we are officially part of Team Iceco. We're super excited to use it. We have used it once. I could tell you this thing gets cold quick. It uses barely any power, and the compressor makes literally no noise, and there's so much space inside of here. It's built rugged, and I couldn't say any more good things about this thing. This thing is just amazing, and we cannot wait to keep using it. If you did watch our trip, you will see that we did run into a lot of issues with our previous fridge, so thank you, Iceco. So with that, we obviously have the whole platform that goes all the way to the front driver's seats, which I'm going to show you that right now. So this is the sleeping platform. Of course, we don't use it very much anymore because we're normally sleeping up top, but this is obviously emergency situations if we do need to use it. And then normally we'd have a ton of stuff up here. Obviously I cleaned it out for the sake of the video. I just wanted to show you guys what it kind of looks like when it's free and open, the possibilities that you have that you can put in here. Obviously I have my little water jug, my Dometic water jug right here, but that's where normally the water stays. And then on the other side we normally have our portable toilet and another water jug. And that's pretty much it for the platform and the storage unit actually. And then of course it's held on by legs that Josh cut right here, so it slots right in here, and then it just stays up. So yep. And then of course this is where my tools are. Of course I need tools for whenever we go out. I make sure that I take tools. We did buy a carbon monoxide sensor just for when we were using the diesel heater the other day. And then of course other things in here. Down here we have the awning walls, the ladder for the tent, and anything extra. So the first thing that you'll notice when you step into the driver's seat, you'll notice that I do have an aux beam 8-switch panel. I do still have to put a sticker right there, but it comes with a ton of stickers and it's just great. I mean, I have everything put together with this thing in the engine bay, and all I have to do is just do one click and the lights turn on. So actually, speaking of aux beam, I'm going to go ahead and pause the video real quick to talk about the LED bar that aux beam just sent me. It's a 5D Pro Series LED bar. It's a double row LED bar, and this thing is so bright compared to all the lights that I have. I'm so used to the Amber Baja Design Squadron Pros and the ditch lights that I have that I didn't realize that this thing can actually get brighter. So it's crazy. And another thing that Auxbeam was kind enough to do was provide us a discount code for you guys in the description, and it'll be right here. Thank you, Auxbeam, so much for sending us this. We're super grateful. We can't wait to keep working with y'all. Now back to the video. Now continuing with the inside here, we just have the scan gauge with the mount. It's a little bit loose because this screw right here got messed up, but this thing is amazing. If you don't know what this thing is, it basically tells you all the features of your truck, anything that can happen to it, all the readings, temperature, transmission temperature, everything. And then moving on, we have just a CarPlay that actually Michelle got. I don't know where she got it from. I think it was her mom that got it for her as a present, but I'm pretty sure you can find these on Amazon. I'm going to try to see with her to see if I can find the link and put it in the description, because we do get a lot of questions about this thing. It's freaking great because then you don't need a head unit. You can just get this, put it on your window, and then go. And of course, we do have the Midland radio that we use all the time when we're with other people on the trail. Normally when we're by ourselves, we don't really turn it on, but when you're with other people, This thing works miracles because when you don't have service, you can communicate really quickly with this. Another thing that we actually got, I won these Molly panels at a raffle. And these are actually supposed to be 5th gen 4Runner Molly panels, but I made them work with my 4Runner. I just put them through the door panel and it actually works. So we've been able to keep my deflator, my tire deflator right there, and it's just been great. We have them on each side. There's not much else to them. You can keep like a little pocket knife, whatever you want on them. So everything that is up here is being held up by this amazing Matterhorn Sherpa roof rack. We've had this thing for around 2.5 years, probably 2 years. I got this roof rack before I even got a lift on my truck. So this was like priority to me so I could put a rooftop tent up here, and it has held up for as long as actually I had my other 4Runner. So I took this out of my other 4Runner and put it on here. So it's been through 2 4Runners. There's literally been nothing that has happened to it. No damage, nothing. It's held 2 rooftop tents so far. It holds my shower awning and my other awning and all my lights. Big 2 thumbs up for Sherpa. To me and Michelle, in our opinion, they have the best roof racks out there. Just with how light it is, how durable it is, it's just perfect. So thank you guys at Sherpa. You guys always do a very, very good job. We love your products and we'll always continue to support you guys. Now moving on to this side of the truck, we do have a shower awning for whenever we need to take a shower at camp. This is a kick-ass gear awning and it just goes down without a roof. What we've done when we do need a roof, if it's cold outside, we just put a towel over it and it'll just keep the heat inside and you don't have to worry about it. So moving on to our solar panels. I used to have only one solar panel. It was 100 watts and then we finally got another one. So now we're running 2 solar panels. So that's 200 watts up top and it has actually worked really well. It's on our last trip, it actually kept everything charged. It is by Renogy, both solar panels, and both are 100 watts and 12 volts. There's no complaints about it. We are actually planning on taking these wires because it is a little bit messy up on the tent so we can hide them better because the wires that come with the solar panel are very short. So what we're going to do is we're going to extend these wires, push them down, and they'll be completely hidden besides just like one wire coming down. So finally we have our Inspired Overland lightweight rooftop tent. This is actually a new one because our zipper broke on the last one. So they warranted it and sent us another one free of charge. So they have very, very, very good warranty. That's what we've kind of realized. But it did last a very long time. This one we've been able to sleep comfortably, especially in Georgia. We had no issues. It seems like the installation was better than the previous tent. Maybe we got an earlier generation tent, but it works. It's actually only 80 pounds or 85 pounds, 84, I don't know. And that's good for this truck because, as most of you know, the engine in this truck is very slow. So putting something that's like 200 pounds up there won't help it. We opted to go with something lightweight and it's helped a lot. And then of course we're able to stick our solar panels up there with double-sided tape. Obviously there's no rails, so we can't put like hard solar panels, so we opted for the flexible ones and they work perfectly and they stick on really well, especially if you use like really heavy duty double-sided tape. That's what we learned. It does have a really nice mattress. Of course you can opt to get your own and replace a mattress in there and get your own, but we've had no issues with the mattress that's in there. So there it is. That's pretty much it for the walk around tour. I know it's a lot. We've had this truck for around 2.5 years now, so we've been building it slowly. And so we've done a lot to it, and this is progression. It didn't come in a day. So we just wanted to do a walk around tour to kind of explain to you guys what we've done and also kind of give you guys motivation. If you guys want to go do your own thing like this, dude, there's nothing stopping you. We've seen things that most people will never see and couldn't be happier about it. So this is our walk around tour. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We are roaming our path and we will see you guys in the next trip. We do have a lot planned for this year. Let's see where the road takes us.